Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Sell More Book Show, episode 535. I promise it's 535. We, messed up numbers a couple episodes ago. I'm Brian Cohen from Author Ad School, and I'm really excited to be joined today by Matt Holmes, a Facebook ads expert, just a great guy and one of the first Brits we've had on the show in a while, which I'm excited about. How are you, Matt?
Very good, Brian. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. It's great to be here.
Of
Excited.
course. Good. Me too. I love your story. So you have, an extensive background understanding in advertising, and you want to essentially help your wife sell her fantasy novels, is it right?
Yeah,
And
that's right.
and then you get into this and you say, you know what? There's a few things that I could teach in this space. Um, it's very interesting because a lot of people have taught Facebook ads for authors over the years. And what I've really, really loved is that you're kind of tapping into the kind of one of the most efficient methods I've seen where you aren't as concerned about something that's been a huge concern for authors over the years, which is targeting. So, how did you? We have a limited span here, but kind of
Sure.
the
Yeah.
60-second overview. How did you kind of get into this? Oh, let's do this very 2024 method of advertising.
Yeah, it all we started advertising in 2020 with my wife's books, and we were using the whole traditional way of targeting, the detailed targeting with Facebook ads. And the end of 2022, our ads sort of started falling off the cliff. And I thought, okay, I've got to try something here because this is Laurie's, my wife's books and her income and the royalties from that, and it was just going down and down and down. And I thought I've got to really figure something out here. So I tried everything I could think of, which all involved targeting of some sort. And then I'd heard about this open targeting, broad targeting, unrestricted targeting thing. It's got various names, but essentially where you don't do any targeting. And I thought, I've got nothing to lose. Let's just try it. I've tried everything I can think of, so that I'm just going to go down this route and see what happens. And it worked. Within a couple of weeks, we were back up to almost where we were, and it just kept going and going and going. So that's how I came across it, sort of by accident, and just by pulling my hair out, trying to figure out something that would work for us. But yeah, it was like a last resort, really, but it worked and paid off.
Love that. I love that. And
Uh,
I've tried your method, and I've seen, plenty of authors that I've worked with have tried your method, and that was one of the reasons. And hey, one of the reasons you're here is I asked you to create a module for my Author Ad School course on how to run Facebook ads to build your email list, and that'll be going into the course in a few days here. And I'm excited because it's something I've always wanted to make sure I taught in the program, but I wanted an expert to come in and share. And so I really appreciate you creating that, and I think it's going to benefit a lot of people.
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I think email's a big. It's like your second biggest asset as an author to have a big email list, and Facebook ads can drive a lot of email subscribers for you. There's obviously some stuff in the back end that we need in place, which we cover in the course, but it's it can really just bring your books to a whole new audience.
Yeah, I'm super appreciative, and I'm excited to see some people get some more subscribers. So
absolutely, thank you.
In the midst of all that, you are reworking your own meta ads course because there's always updates, there's always tweaks. Do you know, I didn't ask you this beforehand. Do you know about when that'll be ready for your existing course subscribers, and obviously anyone else who wants to go check out your full meta ads for book sales type course?
Yeah, thank you, Brian. So I'm working on it now, and it should be ready by sort of the last weekend of July, somewhere around there. About 2 or 3 weeks time, somewhere around there. Yeah, so it's nearly there.
Awesome. Go to MatthewJHolmes.com keep an eye out for that. And I think we'll be having a class at some point soon, so I can tell everybody about it as well. So,
Thank you.
of course, the 20th 5-day author ad profit challenge is live, and it's a little bit different because it's a free preview of all of Author Ad School. So go find the link at sellmorebookshow.com. It's also at authorsadvertise.com. There's going to be a bunch of webinars next week. It should be a blast. So, previous week's question, I might ask you this question too, Matt. So stay tuned.
Go for it.
So obviously all of June, we had the Writing Gals on the podcast. So aside from the amazing Writing Gals cruise coming up in January, where would you want to go for a writing retreat? Marianne Tierney said is a secluded cabin somewhere in the Amazonian rainforest. 2 on the nose. No, I think that's perfect, Marianne. Heather Weber said, anywhere by myself, no family or friends, where someone else cooks. Yes, 100%. And Randy Landenberger said, either the desert or the opposite, someplace like the coast of northern Washington state or Ireland, and someplace where it is raining all of the time. Kind of sounds like your neck of the woods there, Matt.
It does, raining all the time. Yep.
Where do you think you would do a marketing retreat, and or you and your wife doing a writing retreat for her books? I know you have books out as well. Where would you do a retreat?
It would have to be in the caravan in the rain, and nice and cozy in the caravan.
Ooh, I like that.
In a forest somewhere in the rain. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Awesome. I'm trying to think for me. I mean, I like the beach, but if you're at the beach, you kind of want to be at the beach and not necessarily writing.
Yep.
So maybe mountains, maybe a mountain cabin.
Mountains
could be fun.
Nice.
I'll
take that. Absolutely.
Well, you can always answer the question of the week over at the Sell More Book Show After Party Facebook group. Let's get into today's story. This is fun. I love practical experiments, and I'm very interested to get your thoughts on this once we get through it. So are you ready for today's story, Matt?
Go for it, Brian. Let's go.
All right, wonderful. So this is Landing Test. In a new test between a prolific author's email landing page and BookFunnel's page, BookFunnel won handily, according to a post by Damon Courtney. Author Katie Cross had already been playing around with Facebook ads, but hosting her Lead Magnets landing page on her own site meant that potential readers had to go through multiple steps before they could read her free book. The duo wanted to see if using BookFunnel as a landing page and an ebook delivery system could streamline the process. Courtney and Cross set up 2 identical Facebook ads based on already well-tested images and text with a $10 daily budget. In the end, BookFunnel won the landing page test over Katie's site by a wide margin across several different metrics. The biggest surprise was the difference in new subscribers. The ads that linked directly to BookFunnel pulled in up to 3 times the number of new subscribers over Katie's own landing page. Quote, across the board, BookFunnel won out over my website in all the places that mattered most, says Cross. In addition, quote, BookFunnel will make it easier for me to sell to them later. They already have the audiobook player and e-reader of choice from my website. In other words, it decreases a potential friction point for future sales, end quote. I want to give a little context here before I get your thoughts on this, Matt. A lot of authors, their own website, not that great. It's tough to design a good website. Katie is a very successful author through her own website. She sells direct. Very successful through Shopify. She releases a book every month through her own website, so it's almost like a subscription. So her website is probably amongst the top 1% of 1% of authors. And yet, BookFunnel beat her email landing page. What were your thoughts when you heard about this test, Matt?
It's not surprising because the BookFunnel page is so beautifully laid out. It makes it so simple for people to get the format that they want, the ebook format that they want in, whether it's for Kindle or their Android device or iPad or computer, and they've got their own BookFunnel, have their own in-browser reading app as well. So it makes it very, very easy for readers to start reading almost instantly. And they also have an integration with Kindle, so you simply drag and drop the BookFunnel file over into Kindle, and it sends it straight to someone's Kindle. So and it's a beautifully clean and simple landing page design. So, and I think to create that on your own website, yes, it's possible, but it takes a lot more work. Whereas BookFunnels is just, it's done. It's there
Right.
ready, waiting for you. You just upload the files and everything's handled in the back end. There's no sort of, as Katie said, there's less friction to go from a website and then over to a BookFunnel page. It's all handled in the BookFunnel ecosystem, if you like. So
Yeah.
I think it's a brilliant piece of software.
I mean, would you like, as you build up maybe your emails, which are a lot of them run through your website and pop-ups
Mm-hmm.
on your website, your wife's emails and pop-ups that she might have, what would keep you right now from just saying moving it over to BookFunnel? What would hold you back from it, knowing that BookFunnel pages do allow you to embed Facebook pixels, all of that
Yep.
sort of stuff. Allow you to go to whatever confirmation page you might want. What would
Yep.
keep you from doing it?
That's a very good question. I
I
don't
know
think
I
there is
gotta ask
anything
the tough questions
yeah.
here, Matt, because you're the
Yeah.
Facebook ads expert. I want to get your thoughts on it.
I guess if you have it on your own website, you could use a tool such as Crazy Egg to do some A/B testing with some different landing page and different designs. You could test, because a lot of the Facebook ads traffic will be mobile, so you could perhaps test some different layouts for mobile devices. So you could probably do, if you want to get into the weeds with it more, then you could
Yeah,
do more sort of A/B testing type stuff with your own website.
yeah, yeah. So maybe a little more flexibility, but
A little bit more, yeah,
since most
yeah.
people aren't going to get into the weeds, I
Well,
mean,
no, exactly. This is it.
yeah,
Yeah,
this
exactly. I'm a
might
bit of
just be fine. Yeah,
exactly. I'm a bit of a geek about that stuff, so I quite enjoy it. But a lot of authors don't enjoy that sort of stuff. And
yeah,
BookFunnels, as Kate, yeah, as Damon said, yeah, it converted up 3 times more subscribers than her own website. So
yeah. I
it's
mean,
a big difference.
because you've got the front end 3x more, but then
Yeah,
you've got you are on the same type of page with the same layout, and you
yeah,
have the ability to download the book. So you're not like, you don't have a second click happening. You don't have a second page or a second different website opening. So if it's
exactly.
3x on the front end, because we want people to download our lead
Yeah,
magnets,
yeah,
right?
yep,
So if we've got 3x on the front end, and then one would assume an improved actual pickup of the reader actually getting the device, getting the book,
yep,
you're probably seeing maybe even 6 times as many downloads of the book
yeah.
for the same spend. That, I mean,
I bet. Yeah,
it's a real a real feather in Damon's cap over
isn't it? Yeah,
at BookFunnel.
BookFunnel. Oh, yeah, very much. No, I
Yeah,
think it's a great piece of software, and
yeah,
we do use it with Laurie's site, but we have the form on the website, and then we go to thank you page, and on the thank you page, there's a button to go to the book on BookFunnel, but there is that extra step in there.
right, right. So,
So we could
um,
potentially have a redirect that goes straight to the BookFunnel page to download it, rather than having a thank you page on the website.
absolutely. Now,
So it's
I
all these
will
things we can test.
say, yeah, the only thing I can think of, um, I guess this potentially takes out the tripwire step if you are
Yeah.
going to bump to a purchase page. But
Hmm.
I wonder if there's a way. This I don't know the answer, and I don't know if Damon's listening to this show. I wonder if you could have it so after a reader downloads the book, they get redirected further to a BookFunnel tripwire page, because I know you can sell direct from BookFunnel.
Hmm. Yep.
That would be my wonder. I don't know the answer to that. So, Damon,
Yeah.
if you're listening, let me know. Um, but Matt, I want to ask you a hot potato wisdom question. How can you determine which element or elements of your marketing need optimizing? How can you tell if the landing page needs a tweak? How can you tell if the Facebook ad isn't, you're like, well, my cost per click is decently low, but you don't know, like, how can you determine, like, what's the testing process look like?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different things you can test, and you can get quite overwhelmed with all of it.
Yeah.
And you could get really into the weeds with all the data, and you can sort of get paralysis by analysis by just looking at too much stuff. But in terms of, I think for me, it comes back to, okay, what are our goals? Are we trying to build the email list? Are we trying to get more sales? What are we trying to do? and really focusing on that for a month or two.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to test lots of different things all at the same time, you get too many variables at play. So I like to try and sort of simplify things down to, okay, what are our goals? And let's just focus on testing that one thing. And okay, let's take Facebook ads as an example. If our ads aren't converting as well, then what's the reason for that? Is
Mm.
it something to do with the product page, or is it on Amazon, or is it something to do with the ads themselves? Could it be that the targeting's off? That Meta have just they're not doing a good job of targeting maybe for it, because you do get some days where your costs are higher, your CPMs are higher, performance is just generally lower, and other days it's much higher. So that because Meta are always looking for more, they're always searching for more audience for you, and
Yeah.
sometimes they hit it on the head, sometimes they don't. So it could be that, but then other times you could have really good ads that are working well. The cost per clicks are fine, click-through rates are good, but then there's something with the product page that's off. So maybe it's like in the past we've had a few weeks of lower sales, and we thought, what on earth is going on here? And it turned out there was like a 1-star review at the top of that was like the most recent or the top rated Amazon review, and once that got bumped down, things started going up again. So it was just that was just causing it, and people were seeing a 1-star review more than the 5-star reviews. That was putting a
Yeah.
few people off. So it can be little things like that. So, and the other things you can do in terms of testing are, we can do, like we could test book covers, we can test new blurbs with the Facebook ads. So it's difficult to pinpoint something, but like with Facebook ads particularly, it can be easy to blame the Facebook ads themselves for the books not selling.
Mm.
Whereas sometimes, in a lot of cases, it can be the book itself, because your book is going to sell your book at the end of the day. The ads are
Yeah.
just making people aware of your books.
I've always been a big fan of the phrase "ads reveal your book,"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way
and
to put it.
it
Yeah,
really does. It really
yeah,
does.
yeah.
Great answer there, Matt. I think you have a question for me in this hot
I
potatoes of
certainly do,
wisdom
Brian.
section. Yes.
So, what other areas, Brian, should authors consider testing to optimize their advertising?
I think one of the biggest areas that authors tend to fall down on when it comes to optimizing is they don't go through their own funnel themselves.
Yeah,
They
very good.
don't make sure the emails are showing up in the right place. They don't click their own ads to make sure it's actually going to the page they're hoping for, whether it's a
Yep,
regular Amazon page or whether it's an email sign up page. If it
yep,
is an email sign up page, they aren't checking their email autoresponder sequence for typos. Make sure those
yep.
links go to the right place. I have used the trick of your Gmail account. You can, at the end of your name, you can put plus, test,
That's it.
whatever.
Yep.
I have probably sent thousands of test emails to myself just to make sure things go to the right place. I have sometimes for a Facebook ad going to a landing page, not an email landing page. I've seen where the mobile went to a different destination than the
Okay.
desktop.
Yep.
And it was because something had cached in there in the Facebook system. And so test everything, every
Oh, very
possible
much.
click permutation of your ad, test it. And that is actually going to make it like maybe 80% of the difference.
Very much. I think it's going through that customer journey for yourself to make sure that everything is lining up with what you think is you've set up is actually working,
Yeah.
and that all the emails are delivered, the sequence is coming through in the right sort of order. So what I find useful is to get if you've got an email sequence, to get all them up on the screen and sort of read them sequentially to make sure that you can
Mm,
the first one makes sense before the second one, and so on. So you can sort of read the email sequence in order, because that's how
yeah.
people are going to be receiving it. So little things like that you can do.
Yeah. I
Yeah, the
love
customer
that.
journey is massive.
Yeah. And you send out a lot of emails. So
I
you and
send
I
quite
are
a few
similar.
humans.
We send out a lot
Yeah,
of emails. And so
we
we
do.
have
We
to
do.
check
I
them
just
out.
enjoy writing. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All right, well, let's go into the lightning round here, Matt. I built you up for this. We're ready for your very British lightning sound. Let's go for it.
Pachow.
Pachow.
I,
Oh, I don't think it
pachow.
could have. I don't think it could have been more British. That was so
I don't know.
great.
I don't
Uh,
know. If that's lightning or not, that's what lightning sounds like here.
I'm pretty sure that's very British lightning. So, Matt, how far in advance do you plan your marketing for your courses, certainly, but for your wife's books?
Sure. So we used to plan it out months in advance. We used to plan 6, 12 months in advance. Now we're a bit more spontaneous. We may plan out like 3 or 4 weeks in advance
Mm,
for any promotions, because we get quite a few of the Kindle monthly deals or daily deals, and it can be quite hard to plan around those because we can't like run a Kindle count. We can't plan a Kindle countdown deal and change the price if we've got an upcoming Kindle monthly deal or daily deal coming up, and they don't sort of let you know that too far in advance whether you've got it or not. You obviously accept that you'd like to take part in it, but they don't confirm that until a few days before. So
right.
it can be quite tricky to sort of know, okay, how can I plan this so I don't lose out on the daily deal or a monthly deal? So we try and we're a bit more spontaneous with it now, 3 or 4 weeks in advance. And Laurie only launches one book a year, so we can sort of. I've got an idea of when the next one is. It's going to be sort of September, October time, so we can start planning for that now. But we're not sort of going all in on it. We tend to leave that to the last 3 or 4 weeks and work out a bit of a strategy for it. But even then, it's not super detailed. It's fairly open and relaxed.
That totally makes
Yeah,
sense. Awesome. You've
yeah,
got a question for me?
I certainly do. So, when you plan out your marketing, how detailed do you get?
I've always been for marketing planning, I'm a broad strokes person, and then kind of the little details fill themselves in. For these 5-day challenges, for the webinars that I do, it is usually like, well, let's see how much we can reuse from last time. How much can we pull as a template from the previous time? Now that
Yep,
I've done this challenge a little differently, it's very much like, oh yeah, I guess I'm supposed to send an email tomorrow. I guess I should post a post. And so it's a little
yep,
more spontaneous, but I think normally it's really a matter of how much from a previous launch or promotion can I reuse, because
mm-hmm,
every email, every post that can just have a few tweaks and then be a whole new thing
yep.
can really make the marketing planning a lot easier.
I think it can, and because you have a gap between your promotions, there's
Hmm.
obviously new people that have come into your audience since the previous one, so it's not going to be old to those people, so to speak.
Right, exactly. If it's
Yeah,
if
so there's always fresh new audience coming in.
it's new to them, they love it.
Yeah, new to them. Yep, yep, exactly. Yep, and it still
So
provides value.
yeah, no, exactly. That's definitely how I feel. So,
Yeah.
Matt, what are the most common mistakes authors make when it comes to Facebook ads? And remember, you have 60 seconds.
Yes, I'm gonna say not 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, because I've made all these mistakes in the book, so yeah, I can speak firsthand to all of these. But I think the biggest one is probably not letting your ads run long enough.
Mm.
So, for example, the first 3 days is like a lock block. You just do not touch those ads in those first 3 days. But then I let my ads run for 7 days to gather enough data on them to make an informed decision. And the other thing is, we touched on it earlier about blaming the ads for the lack of book sales, whereas honestly, it can, and 9 times out of 10, it can be the book itself, something on the book product page that is actually affecting the performance of the ads, because you may have great performing ads that look great in the Facebook ads dashboard, such as low cost per clicks, high click-through rates, etc. But if they're not converting, that could be something with the ads. It could be that you're sort of misguiding people in the ads a little bit, and they're getting to the product page on Amazon thinking this is nothing like the book I thought I was clicking on when I saw the ad. So there's got to be some context between some sort of continuity between the ads and the product page, but quite often it can be the product page that's letting the ads down.
Mm,
So
totally
there's two
makes
things there.
sense. Yeah, yeah. The first two. Uh,
First two, yeah, yeah.
uh,
So,
yes.
Brian, how many books do you need to have for Facebook ads to be effective, do you think?
Well, I think that the number of books you need for Facebook ads, Amazon ads, any ads can really vary. I think that there are plenty of authors who have had a standalone that works,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
but there have also been many, many authors who've had a series that
Mm-hmm.
is successful. And so I think that it is a matter of testing. You put it out
Yep.
there, You try it. Did we profit? Did we spend $50 and make $50? Did we make $100? Did we make, $2? This is data. It's all a data point. And
Yeah,
so
much.
we can look at, oh, well, maybe since I spent $50 but only made $2, there's something I should tweak here, something I should improve on the product page, or maybe
Yep.
I should wait until I get another book out or another series out. And so I think there isn't some magic number of books, but I think that data is going to be your friend.
Oh, very much. Yeah, I think so. And it depends what your goals are. If your goal is profit right out of the gate with one book, you're going to be disappointed, I think, in most cases. That's not
Right.
always the case,
Right.
but you could use that book as a sort of guinea pig to get to grips with the ad platform and get it building up your confidence, looking for ads that do work. Even if they're not working profitably, at least you gather some data, as you say, that can help with all your future ads. And as you start releasing more books, I think it's going to help with all of that. Just
Yeah.
building up your confidence, because that's half the battle, is knowing
Yeah.
your way around the dashboard and building ads and knowing what doesn't work.
No, absolutely agreed. Absolutely agreed. Final question of the lightning round. What is the biggest change you've seen to Facebook ads over the last few years?
I think it's been a much more heavy reliance on their AI and their artificial intelligence system and their machine learning, and letting them handle so much more of it. The targeting is one big thing, of course, but in the last few months, we've seen Meta offering AI suggestions for your primary text and your headlines. So you could put something in and they'll write their own versions of that for you that you could use in your ads. And also they are working on, it's currently in beta, not every account has it yet, but they are working on an AI image generation tool directly inside the Meta ads dashboard, the Facebook ads dashboard. So they're handling more and more of the ad creation process. So they're already handling the targeting side of it. And now they're starting to really help you with the creation of the ads themselves, which are the biggest lever you can pull with Facebook ads, is the actual ads people are seeing on their Facebook feed. So yeah, there's a lot more AI and machine learning going on now with Facebook ads. That's probably the biggest change. So rather than us having to treat Facebook ads like a day trader and making all these decisions all the time and trying to micromanage it, we're handing the reins much more over to Facebook ads now.
Yeah, no, great answer. Thank you for that. We need a question of the week, Matt. I always defer to the guest first. Do you have any ideas for what you would want to ask about, or in the general area of what you want to ask about? Because I could always massage it a little bit if I need to.
Sure. So I think it's going to be, have you tried Facebook ads to advertise your books before? What's been your sort of best performing ad platform with with advertising your books? And rather than trying to spread yourself so thin and try and be everywhere, do you think you could look at the data, analyze the data and think, okay, perhaps I should go all in on Amazon ads or all in on Facebook ads, rather than trying to spread yourself too thin and be everywhere? Could you look at the data and just really focus and see where your results are coming from and really focus in on that particular ad platform? Because you'll get much better results if you can focus in on one thing rather than trying to spread yourself so thin over lots of different ad platforms and trying to be everywhere.
Absolutely. All right.
So that was quite a long question.
No, I'm going to massage it to, have you tried Facebook ads to advertise your books before? What has been your best performing ad platform so far? And obviously, if anyone has thoughts on
Absolutely.
the which is your best and going deeper, they can definitely work on that for sure. But I love that question. So definitely answer that over there, folks, at the Sell More Book Show After Party Facebook group. Matt's going to be back here for next week's show. I say next week in quotes because for us it's going to be 5 seconds. But Matt, where can people find out about you and your awesome Meta Ads course and all the great stuff you have going on?
Thank you so much, Brian. Yeah, so the best place to go is matthewjholmes.com. And on there, you can sign up to my weekly Meta Ads newsletter. And there's a free course that goes along with that to help you create your first Facebook ads, your first Meta Ads.
Awesome. Go check it out. And if you are thinking about Author Ad School, Matt has a new module in there that'll be in there in the next couple of days on running Facebook ads to grow your email newsletter. So thank you, Matt. It's been a delight having you here.
Thank you so much, Brian. Really appreciate being here with you. Thank you.
Of course, of course. Well, Matt will be back next week. So for Matt, I'm Brian. Have a great week of book selling, everybody. make sure to check out our challenge and author ad school at adschool2024.com. We'll be back next week for episode 536. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.